Before we continue with the analysis, I want to talk to you guys about JerseyFIFA.com, the home of all of the greatest football kits. Whether that's the latest home shirts, the latest away shirts, tracksuits, or even retro kits, Jersey FIFA has a bit of everything. There really is something for everyone, so if you are interested, then make sure to use the link in the description down below and head to JerseyFIFA.com. Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel, where today we are getting straight into things, talking about one of the hottest prospects in the world of football right now, Alejandro Garnacho. We're going to talk about what makes him so good, certain areas of his games that need improvement, and also what his role currently in the United team is and what it could be moving forward. If you want to help out with these videos in the future, then make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on, because I will be doing live streams as often as possible, so you guys can help out with these videos and give me your live reaction and thoughts. However, to get straight into it today, like I said already, we're talking about Alejandro Garnacho, because at just 18 years old, this young Argentinian left winger is just absolutely fantastic. He's one of the most exciting players in the world, he's one of United's most effective players, so like I've said already, I want to take a look at what makes him so good. And, you know, there is no better place to start. It's the one skill set I really want to focus on, Alejandro's dribbling. Completely forgot what I was saying there. Alejandro Garnacho's dribbling. He is such a good, aggressive, assertive, front-footed dribbler. It is unbelievable. When we talk about the Manchester United squad, we talk about Antony at times not going at his man, and Jadon Sancho in particular. Garnacho is the complete opposite, and that is why he is quite unique in this squad. Rashford's probably the other one who does it, but Garnacho in particular gets the ball and goes at his man, gets the ball and goes at his man, gets the ball and goes at his man. We saw it at the weekend against Bournemouth. Literally, his first touches was straight at the defender. When he came on as the sub, his first thought was, how can I get at this defender and beat him? His dribbling in these areas of the pitch is just so good. He squares up his man very quickly, he'll throw in a step over or a body feint, and then he's gone. He is past that man, the acceleration is very good. He kind of gets defenders to a standstill and then bursts past them. It's really very effective, and it has made him a brilliant weapon for Manchester United. And it's backed up in his FBref report. Now, one thing we do need to consider is that these numbers aren't too reliable, simply because we're working with a slightly smaller sample size than what we would typically, because he still hasn't played that many minutes at the top level. However, we can see him ranking very well for total carrying distance, progressive carrying distance, progressive carries, carries into the final third, and in particular, carries into the penalty area, where he ranks in the 99th percentile. And, like I said, I think the most impressive thing for me is the confidence. Perhaps it's a little bit the naivety or the ignorance of youth a little bit. But he just is not scared. He can fail 3 or 4 dribbles, and he does fail a few dribbles a game. That is something he needs to work on. But what I like is it doesn't affect him. Something that we talk about again a lot with Jadon Sancho is his confidence. If he doesn't beat his man, his head seems to drop a little bit. That isn't the case with Garnacho. He can try 7 dribbles, and he might fail all of them. But still, the next time he gets the ball, he is going to go at his man. And that is such a brilliant thing for a young player to have. And it makes defenders absolutely terrified of him. In 1-versus-1 situations, genuinely right now, he is one of the best 1-versus-1 dribblers that the Premier League has to offer. He is terrifying, absolutely terrifying, and it's working so well in this United team. Now, something else which he does as well, thanks to his effective dribbling and, you know, the effective nature of the way which he carries the ball, is it allows him to threaten in the final third. So yes, initially he's often starting quite wide and trying to isolate a fullback, but when he gets into the final third, either in sustained attacks or on the counter-attack, he's always looking for a way to work the ball inside. He wants to be kind of in this inside half space here on his right foot where he can shoot at goal. This is always his first thought in the final third. We will come back onto that, because that can of course be a negative as well, but again, it's that front-footed nature. He wants to get a shot off at goal. And we can see it in his shot map, that this is the exact area which he is trying to shoot from. These are his shots in the Premier League this season. They are all that tucked in inside position in the 18-yard box, cutting in from the left-hand side, then looking to get the shot off goal. And I like where he is shooting from. A few of these shots are from range, from distance, and he probably needs to cut out of his game a little bit at times because he isn't the best long-range finisher. But I like to see a lot of shots all in one area, but all in the penalty area. It's showing that he's getting himself into good positions. So yes, he's doing a lot of good work out wide and looking dangerous, but he's also got that end product and intelligence and awareness of his movement to get into really dangerous positions in the opposition penalty area. And you know, if he's going to be a player which over the course of his career does that on a regular basis, he'll score a lot of goals. This season, his expected goals is about 2.9 and he scored 3 in the league, so his finishing is about on par with what we would expect, and that should improve with age. But, like I said already, if he's going to keep getting into these positions just inside the 18-yard box, cutting in from the left-hand side onto his very good right foot, he could be a player which goes on to score a lot of goals in the future. Now, those two things there are obviously the big strengths of Garnacho. It's his ability to carry the ball forward, drive forward, move up the pitch, but then also, get shots off in the final third and be effective. However, he is still only 18 years old, 19 in just a couple of months. There are areas of his game which need improvement. Like I've said already, at times his shot selection. Those shots from outside the box aren't particularly effective at the moment, so we don't need to see him trying them. Particularly in the Europa League, he was trying them on a more regular basis. The other thing we need to see is an improvement of his weaker foot. Now, Garnacho, as I've said already, is a player which is always trying to work a bit of space for himself. He's always throwing in little body feints, body swerves, and in particular, step overs to try and work himself half a yard. And he is very, very capable in the final third of going either way. Yes, most of his shots are on his right foot, however he is capable of going to the byline as well. However, he does need to work on his left foot. He's a bit right foot heavy at the moment. Now it kind of works for him at the moment because he is often coming on late in games when defences are fatigued. Garnacho having the energy, it allows him to work that yard a bit easier. If he's going to be starting games in the future, he does need to add a bit of unpredictability to his game. I do like the fact that he can go both ways, but when he goes to the byline, he tends to then kind of cut back, try get the ball back onto his right foot. So that's something he needs to work on. Something else he needs to work on is also his passing. And, well, that might be a little bit harsh to say because maybe he is good at short passing, we just don't really see it. And that's largely due to the role that he's played this season. Garnacho this season has largely been an impact substitute. We will come back onto that in a second and look at it. But as a result, he is often coming into very open game states, either in situations where United are throwing a lot of players forward because they need a goal, or in situations where they're 1 or 2 goals up, sitting a bit deeper and trying to counter-attack. So Garnacho is often kind of playing in game states where there's a lot of room on the pitch, so you're against tired legs, so you're quickly attacking, being direct going forward, so there is more emphasis on his dribbling. If he again is going to be a player in the future which starts games, the situation is going to be very different because the game state is different. Then there will be more of a focus on his ability to keep the ball for his side, at times come backwards, recycle, link the play with others. That's something which we're just going to have to keep an eye on basically as he develops moving forward. But I think it is something early on which needs a little bit of work. His combination play does need improvement. Now, having said that, there have been situations where he has made some really good decisions in the final third. I mean, his goal against Fulham comes from his ability to play the ball to Eriksen and then make the run off the ball. There was also an assist for, I believe it was Rashford in the Carabao Cup at one point, where he could have quite easily shot himself, but instead chose to pass the ball to Rashford. So that kind of hints at that potential good decision making, but I just think in general, his short passing, his link play needs a little bit of work. But again, of course, he is still so young. So we've looked at his 2 main strengths and also a couple of areas which he needs to improve his game. And this kind of takes us towards the end of the video, where I want to discuss what his role in the team is. This season, if we look at it, he has very much been an impact substitute. He's played 17 games in the Premier League this season, which is very, very impressive, but only 4 of them as starts. And he's averaging about 28 minutes per cameo. So that really highlights what he is at the moment. He is an impact substitute. And like I've said, that does affect the way he plays. The game state is very different, the opposition are tired, fatigued, the pitch is open, there's more space for him to attack, which makes things a bit easier. The question for Garnacho is, how does he make that transition into an impact sub, which, to be fair at this age, it's fine for him to play that role. But how does he transition from being this impact substitute to being a starter? Because there are people that think he should start. And this is where he has a slight problem. And Ten Hag has a slight problem, because Manchester United have 3 players which are very good on the left-hand side. Let's say Martial as a striker. We've got Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Garnacho who can all play on the left wing. So for Garnacho to be a starter, he needs to try and displace those 2 from the team. Now, making an early prediction, Garnacho will overtake Jadon Sancho at the current rate. I think early next season, perhaps October, November time, he probably would be above Sancho in the pecking order. However, this still leaves the problem of Marcus Rashford. Garnacho isn't going to start ahead of Rashford. It's just not going to happen. Rashford scored far too many goals this season. Now, the other solution maybe is to move Rashford into a striker position and leave the left-hand side open for Garnacho, But is this Rashford's best position? There's talks of a new striker coming in, maybe someone like Harry Kane or Osimhen or Højlund. There's a few different things which are kind of at play here. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of watch and develop. Like I said, I think Garnacho will overtake Sancho in the pecking order on the left wing pretty soon. Sooner rather than later, early next season, I think we will see that happening. However, there is then that Rashford dilemma. Could Ten Hag maybe move Rashford to a striker on a permanent basis and Garnacho become the first choice left winger? It is very, very possible. However, what we need to remember is he's still 18 years old. By the start of next season, he will be 19 years old. This is still a very, very young player. This is his first season in senior football. A year ago, he was scoring the winning goal in the FA Youth Cup final. This year, chances are he'll play a big role in the FA Cup final itself. So, he's moving at a very quick rate at the moment. I think it's important that Ten Hag manages him. Manages his minutes, manages expectations, kind of keeps his feet on the ground. He, of course, recently got a new contract. It's important that he is managed well. So whilst next season, I do think we will see these numbers changing. I think we will see more starts. I think we will see more minutes per game. I'm also not expecting a quick transition into the first team, into the starting 11 on a regular basis. Yes, there will be more starts in the Carabao Cup, maybe the Champions League if United qualify, and certain Premier League games. However, I don't think he will become the starter quite yet because of Marcus Rashford. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think he's ready for the first team? If so, in what position? Who needs to drop out of the team? Is the idea of Rashford up front and Garnacho on the left-hand side a plausible idea? Let me know what you think. Also, let me know your favourite trait of Garnacho's and also some things which he needs to improve moving forward. And of course, like I've said already, subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any videos or any upcoming live streams, because there is going to be loads and loads of content on the channel over the summer in the coming months. So yeah, that's all I've got to say for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, something a little bit different, looking at the strengths, the areas to improve, and the future of a really good young star. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you in the next one.